What I didn't mention in my last video was how do you even buy a house? Like, if you're like me, I didn't have any family support to do so. I didn't know the process. I didn't even know that I could the first time I did buy a house. And it was actually surprising to me both times I got approved before I purchased something that like I was in a position to be able to. Like I was going to get pre-approved by the mortgage lender to see what my game plan was, and both times they were like, actually, you're ready right now. This is how much you could afford. So I just want to break down the steps to help anyone else understand or maybe clear up some of that self-doubt that you could also do the same. So the what you need at a bare minimum to purchase, you need reportable income, so a job that gives you a W-2, a paycheck, not independent contractor, business owner. You can, if you've been operating your business for like more than 5 years or so and they average your income. It's way easier if you have like a salary or an hourly paycheck job. So you need 2 years of work history, and that's to show that you have steady income and makes you a likely candidate to pay your mortgage. So if you've been working in the same industry, it doesn't have to be the same company, same industry. So let's say you're a restaurant server. You've been a bartender at this restaurant, a server at this restaurant, a line cook at this one. That means you're in the same industry in all those jobs. As long as it's been consecutive for 2 years, that box is checked. It doesn't cost you any money to get pre-qualified. It costs $0 to find out what you can afford. They'll pull your credit after you'll submit with the lender your work history, your last 2 years of tax returns, and what else do they want? Bank statements for like the last 2 months. So some like standard financial documents, and they'll give you a list. But you give that to them. They do a hard or soft. I think the pre-approval is a soft credit check. Either way, they're going to do a credit check, and then they'll calculate your debt to income ratio. So they're going to look at how much you make gross, so that's before taxes. And then they're going to calculate your outgoing. So they'll see from your bank statements and like your credit report, like how much you owe on your car, how much your credit card payment are a month. And they'll add up all your outgoing and all your incoming and split it. And whatever you got left over, you can spend X amount of that on a mortgage. And then that's what they'll use to calculate the size of the house. So for me, the first time we got approved, we reported $45,000 a year, and they approved us for $420,000 at the time because of the interest rates. That was during COVID. This time, I make double that. I report $85,000 a year, and I got approved for $400,000. So because of the interest rates, I made twice as much money, but I could buy half as much house. I've been working in the same industry I didn't mention this earlier, they count college. So if you have a bachelor's degree in accounting or engineering or teaching, and you just got a job, so let's say you graduated last year or 6 months ago, and you just got your first job, they'll count your bachelor's degree, any of your college that you put towards whatever industry you're working in as experience in that industry, and they'll use your current salary. As long as you have a job now, they'll use that salary as the salary you've had for the last 2 years if you've been in college. So that could be a way around the 2 years requirement for lending. So bare minimum, you need credit. You need okay credit. You need to have low outgoing. So the first time we bought a house, I had a car payment. I had to pay that off, so I paid the car payment off, which lowered my amount that I was able to put down, but then I didn't have as many bills, so we got approved for the house. This time I don't have any payments, so I didn't have to do any of that, but that's one trade-off you might have to make if you want to purchase a house, is that you have to get rid of your your monthly payments, like your car, or I can't think of anything else. It's like what would be a car? Maybe pay down your credit card debt. But what's cool, what I did learn at a financing class I went to recently, is that you can pay the lender to pay a higher interest rate, and they can use that to pay down your debt for you. So if you're willing to pay more per month, like it's in your budget to pay a higher mortgage per month, you could use that to knock down some of your debt. Typically, people use that's called buying points but it's usually goes the other way. You usually give the lender more money, and they reduce your interest rate up front, and then your payment gets lower. But anyway, that's some extra stuff. Bare minimum, you need a job. 2 years of work history, job. You need low outgoing payments, so if you have a car, get rid of it. But you don't have to right now. That's why you get pre-approved. They'll tell you your game plan. And then the last thing, so you need credit, 2 years of work history, and then you're going to need closing costs. So like there's a lot of programs for like first-time home buyers, or there's different assistance programs. So like don't be scared thinking you need, I need to come up with 20% in a house for a conventional, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to get a conventional loan with 3% down, which depending on what your house is, I'm buying a $300,000 house. That's only $9,000. So you can use, there's programs where the state will pay that. So you might be able to, you still will have to come up with like another 3 to 6% for closing costs. That's to pay the lender, that's to open the account, that's to do appraisals, homeowners insurance, all that stuff, right? There's initial fees to open up a mortgage, and they're usually around 3 to 6% of your purchase price. So even with assistance to cover your down payment, you're still going to have to come out of pocket. So I would say you probably need around, at a minimum, $300,000 house with the low down payment in there. You're going to need $8,000 to $15,000 liquid cash to close your deal. So if you have a down payment, let's say 10 to 20 grand, okay credit, and then you've been working in your same industry for 2 years, you can get approved. There's houses out there right now. I got a whole bunch that I found, not a lot, but if you're not picky, there's houses with those bare minimum requirements that I just stated that you could buy in the Snohomish County area. So the possibilities are out there. And if that $8,000 to $12,000 to $15,000 for closing to get across the finish line sounds crazy, it's because it kind of is. And it's going to take, crazy solutions for crazy problems. So, but it is doable, and you might be closer than you think. And the reason why it's so important for myself and my family to own a house, other than like I didn't grow up in an owned house and nobody's going to leave me a house, so I want to do that for my kids, is that the 3 years I owned my last house and sold it, I doubled my money. So the money I put down, I got more than double back when I sold it 3 years later. All the money you're paying in rent, that could be your money growing in a bank account instead of somebody else's. So no matter what, you're paying thousands of dollars to live somewhere to have rain not on your head. It might as well be going back into your pocket later than somebody else's. Just like, it doesn't make sense. So if you want to see if that's a possibility, hit me up. I'll walk you through it. I know the people to talk to make it really easy. So yeah.